Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Client Insights session. I'll give you all a few more minutes to get set up and to join the Zoom properly. So feel free to open up the chat panel while you're jumping on in and send us a hello so we know you can hear us and message us. That'd be great. But I just want to say a hearty thanks as always for those of you who've made the time to come along live. We really appreciate it, and we think today's going to be actually a little bit of fun session. We got a few giveaways and things that I'll get into in a second with the agenda. But just a quick little bit of housekeeping as always. We are recording this session, so if you need to jump off early or if you're watching it later, you've got that as a resource. Please use the chat panel to send us through any questions you have as we go along, whether that be about what we're talking about or something to do with your website. We're here to help you as well. Otherwise, yeah, again, as always, we'll be sticking around at the end for a Q&A. So any links, any resources, any forms and things we mentioned, we'll be sending out in an email too. So if you don't manage to catch them at the time, but I will be putting them into the webinar chat as we go. So hello and welcome to everyone that's joining. I'll say a big hello to Matt as well. Thanks for coming along too.
Thanks, Anthea. A fun session. You've set the bar pretty high there.
Yeah, for accounting marketing. Now let's get into it. Let's see if we can rise to that challenge. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about AI as always. We've got a new free trial we're announcing with the Bizink AI, so Matt's going to be taking you through that. Also in the announcement section, I'm going to be talking about Google Analytics 4, which some of you may have heard of, some of you may not have. Also, probably the big ticket item for today is that you'll have a chance to win an SEO audit, which we're going to be launching shortly. We've got some new resources with our key dates and glossaries, and the one I'm keen for is to show you our newest website design. So there'll be an opportunity for one of you to win one of those as well. And then Matt's going to be talking through some marketing tips in his newest newsletter and that Q&A I mentioned. So let's get into it. First up, the announcement section. So just a quick update. Some of you may have been getting emails from Google about this. Basically, they've released their next version of Google Analytics, the reporting tool on your website visitors and things like that. Some of you may be really into this. Some of you may not really know much about it. It kind of works in the back end for some of you. Basically, the next version is called Google Analytics 4, which replaces Universal Analytics, and they've had this in the works for ages. We've known about the deadline and things like that. So it officially changes over on July 1st. So we've been beavering away in the background, updating all our website clients to use the new Google Analytics 4 system. And so we're switching this over for your sites and more than halfway through. So we'll be done, all of you, before the deadline. And we're rolling this out as a free upgrade for all of you. So there's no charge. There's nothing for you to do either from your side. But if you do get an email from Google about this, I know they sent one out last week, I think, you can ignore it. But if you're unsure, feel free to forward it to support@bizinkonline.com and we'll double check it for you and let you know if it's the same thing or if there's something different there. So just a quick little update on that one. Right, over to you, Matt, with the big ticket item of the SEO audit.
Cool. I don't know if we can get any more fun than Google Analytics.
Oh, I thought you were on mute, but
no, not now.
There you go.
Yeah, Tanya, Google Analytics confuses everybody, unfortunately. I actually been using it since day one, which is like 2002 or something like that. God, that's how old I am. But it is confusing, and unfortunately, it's the best analytics package. It's free. It's the industry standard. So that's what we integrate with. But that's why we also send the kind of sanitized reports on top of that make it a little bit easier. So apologies if that confuses you. Log into Google Analytics, it confuses everybody. It is just a bit of a confusing platform, but yeah, it's important that we made this change. So it's good to have that done. Okay, so SEO audit. Now, I was chatting to Anthony before. I'm going to rename this thing because it's not really an SEO audit. Audit sounds very accounting, doesn't it? And I bet you get probably 5 SEO audits from Indian companies. We'll get you to #1 in Google tomorrow type stuff, and you get back this kind of super technical loads of red crosses, that kind of thing. Right? I'm sure you've all experienced those things. This definitely isn't what this is. one of the questions you might have is like, why do I need an SEO audit on my website? And but given that we do some optimization on it, and we do, right? So we optimize the technical side of the site. We do some content optimization, particularly around, depending on which website package you're on, it can be on local terms. So like, where you live or where your office is based, and accountants or bookkeepers or some combination of that kind of thing. And that tends to be, something similar to that is what most firms rank under. Then it can be that niche optimization. So it might be you're an e-commerce accountant or accountant for real estate agents or something like that. And there's some niche terms that would work there. So we do that stuff, but there's a bit beyond that, which is to say, okay, and this is why it's not really an audit, and I need to rename this. So that's going to be my job this afternoon, to come up with a different name. It's really what it is like a research project to look at the search opportunity for your, not just your website, but your business in general. So to look at what competitors are doing, what terms people are searching for. It might be stuff that you're not ranking for at all. It might be stuff that's an opportunity to go, okay, this is where we think you should put effort, and this is the effort that we think we should put. So we do a bit of a technical thing, but we do a bit of a research project as well. So it takes like 10 to 12 days to do it, because you have to crawl your site a little bit, and do that actual kind of desk-based research as well. So then, like what we come back with is we're trying to get you to those higher rankings in Google, and it depends what we're going to do, right? And I'll just give you some examples on that. Would be if you're in a very small town where there are 2 accounting firms, and you come number 2, then to get to number 1 might not be that hard. But is it worth like a huge amount of effort to do that, given that most people are going to see that? So small place, easier to rank top, less opportunity because it's a small place. So you might be, if you're trying to get more search traffic, you might be looking at other localities, or it might be looking at some of those niche or industry keywords that you could rank over. So flip that the other way, if you're based in like a big city, say Sydney, or I talked to a firm the other day in Toronto in Canada. So I think it's like 4 million people in Toronto, a lot more in the greater Toronto area. They were a new they didn't even have a domain name yet. And they were like, we want to get to number 1 for Toronto accountants. And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'd like to be 6 foot, but it's not going to happen. That's not a very realistic thing to do with a new domain. So it's about going, okay, based on the size of the area you're in, based on what you're trying to rank for, based on the kind of clients you want to get, it's quite kind of in depth like that. So I'm really glad we're going to add this into our product mix, because I kind of have a dim view of a lot of SEO agencies, and we've brought in a really good SEO partner to help with these, because I think there's a lot of bad SEO companies out there, and we want to be really kind of ethical and put it as part of the mix of all the other things that you can do, email marketing, social, and all of that. So we're not just going to be like, hey, you talk to an SEO agency, what are they going to suggest? More SEO. That's what they're always going to suggest. Whereas we'll be like, hey, actually that can form a good part of the mix with these other things. So we're going to be offering these. We can show you the pricing for them in just a second, but we're going to give one away. We're going to ask a question. That's quite good odds of you winning this, because we've not got a big session today. So get ready. I'm going to ask you a question. Type it into the chat, and whoever types it first will give you a free SEO audit. So it's worth $600 Australian, like whatever that translates into other currencies. I'll show you in a second. So this is going to be my question. So get ready to type, and the person who types it in first, who thinks this is the fairest way to do it, we'll give you a free audit. And the question is, given that everyone's talking about AI, what is the Shakespearean name for Google's AI tool?
I'm keen to see some of the answers there. What people come up with.
It's not Hamlet. Some people are Googling here. Oh, close, close, but no cigar, John. I thought someone would know this. Google it, John. Come on, this is a good prize.
There's time to Google it now. Yeah.
Boom.
There we go.
Winner. Good one, Haley. So Bard is the answer. So Haley, we'll be in touch with the SEO audit, but maybe if we flick on to the
Yeah.
the next one.
Yeah.
So this is the pricing for the audit if you're interested. So basically we take that in-depth look at your site. You know, you'll have had these before where people send you them for free. It's nothing like that. Like what we'll do is we'll do some of that technical stuff, which, you know, we're doing that already in the background, but we're really going to look deep into the content. Going to ask you some questions about, you know, about your firm. And then we'll come back and we'll put a video response on there as well, which is going to talk through it. So it's a really useful tool. I want to rename it to something else because it's not really an audit. That's just, we kind of settled on that name. And then when I've been thinking about it, preparing for this webinar, it's not really an audit at all. So it's more like a research project. It's highlighting the opportunities and creating a plan to do that. So if you're interested, we can drop the link in the chat, but we'll send that in the follow-up email as well.
And because of what Matt's just said, I think it's relevant to our clients no matter which stage of their, you know, website journey with us. Like some of you may have just launched a site, some of you may have had it with us for, you know, 5+ years. So I think it's like Matt's outlined, it's more of a research project. There's value for everyone, just in case you're wondering there as well. So check out that SEO audit and flick me an email if you have any questions about it. We can send you more info. So I did just see your question, Lisa, as well about the permissions in Google Analytics. So I'll just get back to you on that one. I think we might have to, but we'll check it on your account. Yeah. And I'll let you talk through the AI, Bizink AI, Matt.
Yeah, cool. I'm just going to answer John's question because I like ripping on at SEO people. He's getting emails from SEO people every day. Now, ask yourself a question. If they're so good at SEO, why are they using direct email to contact you? That's a good question, right? Like if they're so good at SEO, why aren't they getting all their business through that? So yeah, I think, yeah, it is BS, John, you know, like anyone can spin up one of those SEO audits. And honestly, it grinds our gears at Bizink where we get a client who's had the fear of God put up with them by some, yeah, just kind of SEO company. And they send in these reports saying, these are all problems on your site. And they're not problems. Like, you know, a lot of that stuff's just opinions. The technical stuff that they often come out with, I would suggest it's like, you know, say you were I don't know, what would my analogy be? It's like going, you're a weightlifter and going, hey, I think you should use like blue plates instead of yellow because like it's going to help you lift a bit harder, or you know, like use this chalk instead of that chalk. They're such minuscule things that don't really make a difference or don't make a difference at all, but you know, it looks bad if you put a cross next to them on one of those reports. So I'd honestly say you can basically ignore them. Yeah, Tanya saying she likes when they address them to sir. I had one that addressed me as dear Lord, which I quite liked actually. I must admit, I quite liked that.
I'm going to email you that way from now on.
Quite formal and yeah, big me up a little bit. I was happy with that. So yeah, we've been talking about Bizink AI for the last couple of sessions, and what we thought was, rather than sort of, you know, we're just talking about it, we're demoing it to you. It's something that's really worth trying out. So if you want a free trial of it, it will already be added if you have a Plus website subscription with us. But if you'd like a free trial of Bizink AI, just drop us a message. What's the best way to get in touch, Andy?
Yeah, probably just drop the message in the chat now. I can make a note, or email support. Just
put AI or something in the chat. We'll take a note of that and we'll get it added to your site, drop you an email, and you can test that out. So it's a really cool feature. And so I really want everyone to at least see what it's like. And I think the best way is if you go in and do that yourself. And correct me if I'm wrong, Anthea, we are, as we're doing that, we're creating a post as we do it, right? Like, we'll create a blog post for you. So yeah, do that.
Yeah, give you an example, usually a video of how it's going as well. So
Yeah,
how
cool.
how it works. Sorry, yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. If you're interested in signing up for it, though, I'll let you jump in here as well, Matt. But I'll just paste the form into the chat as well.
Yeah. Yeah. If anyone really wants to get going, it's kind of like having ChatGPT in your website, you know. And the screen you can see, rather than having to type in prompts, you know, you can kind of preset prompts and templates. It just makes it really easy to. The two main use cases for it for me is either rewriting the content we create. So, you know, there's hundreds of blog posts in your website, but if you want to make those unique, you can use AI to do it, like change the title, click, change some of the content, click, and you get a completely unique content. Or if you want to build something from scratch, you can use the custom mode. And we've been getting some really good results with that. You know, I've been quite surprised how good that's been for some quite left field suggestions. You know, we've been doing it on demos, haven't we, Anthea, where people are asking these kind of very regional, very specific industry based things. And they're like, you know what? It's kind of not quite right, but near enough. You've got a 500-word blog post, 600-word blog post, you know, in a couple of minutes, maybe a couple of minutes more to tidy up some of the maybe not necessarily inaccuracies, but kind of smooth it out a little bit, and off you go. So it's really powerful.
Massive time saver, and it's something I know you've said this before, Matt. It's probably something you wouldn't have got round to doing, or you would have had to obviously pay a writer maybe and do some research on. So yeah, the time savings amazing, and this is included in plus subscriptions as well. So
Yeah.
you would have got an email about that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a procrastination breaker, isn't it? You know, is that you know, I write a lot. I don't find it hard to write, but sometimes, you know, you just it gets you, you know, 60, 70, 80% of the way there really quickly. And once you're going, that last bit is really easy to do. But you know, we all know that feeling of staring at a blank piece of paper. So that's one of the big things. I think it gets you started and gives you a framework. And the other way I think it's really good is not necessarily creating like a piece of wonderful content from scratch, but going, hey, I've got something already and I want to summarize it. I want to make, expand it. Using AI to do what I would call like the grunt work of writing. I think it's really powerful for that. We've been using it. I don't know if anyone has got a ChatGPT Plus subscription, but we've been using that integrated with the plugins that they launched last week. You can plug in a YouTube link. So you can be like, summarize this video for me. It goes and looks at that video and comes back and gives it in text. I mean, stuff like that is just, you know, that's just amazing. So, you know, you get people saying, hey, I don't know, what ChatGPT writes isn't that good, you know, blah, blah, blah. But you're like, well, yeah, but being able to summarize a video, we've done it to summarize budget things in different countries, you know, so you get like a PDF that's 30 pages long. You can use ChatGPT to summarize that, you know, you can't tell me that's not really powerful. So yeah, we've been finding it super useful for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And it's evolving as we speak too, so it's likely we'll be adding more features, more prompts as it develops. This will expand as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next little announcement you may have heard, we've released this probably a couple of months ago now fully. The first item is a new free resource you can add to your site, which is called Key Dates. So these are a list of key dates for your region based on the financial year in your region as well. And it's delivered through our content delivery system, which is called BizPress, which you may have heard us talking about the last little while. And like I mentioned, it's set up by financial year, so that'll automatically roll over. Like Australian financial year is almost finished, so in July it'll roll over to the next ones. And we're making this available to all of you, no matter which package you're on with us, for no additional cost. So if you'd like to add key dates to your site, you can see the email on screen, email support at Bizink Online with those words, and we'll get those added to your site. You can have a look at them before we add them to a menu if you like, but typically I'm putting them in the resources section for your clients and potential clients to see the upcoming compliance and holidays that month. And sort of related to that, this is another free resource you can get, actually two in here. We've got accounting and business glossaries. So again, regional specific, more so in the accounting glossaries where we've got, names of specific like taxes in that region and those sorts of things. So again, if you'd like those added to your site, email us and I'll let you have a look at it before we add it to your resources section as well. So this is, you can probably tell, good for people that might not be exactly sure of the exact definition of certain things or might be Googling for those things as well. So, and just a useful resource for your clients too. So
maybe you don't know and you have to look it up.
Yeah, that's fine too. Yeah. All right, the next announcement I'm quite excited about personally. So I'm really happy to share with you that our brand new theme is ready. We've called this one Capsule. You'll probably see once I show you the site in full. There's some like capsule shaped elements that are on the site. Apologies for my dog going off in the background. So today I'm looking for one firm that's looking for a refresh of their site, like to change the look and feel of their website. So if you're currently on one of our standard designs, this is one of our newest themes. So it's the second theme we've released this year. The first was called Wave. You may remember me announcing that a couple of months ago probably, and that's proved quite popular. These new themes are built in a slightly different way to our previous themes. Like our older designs had, different modules and sections, mostly used for the homepage, but they were typically a bit more fixed in place, whereas these newer themes are a lot more flexible. We have, different modules and sections which you can use across different pages of the site in any order, a bit more dynamic. So it just makes for a more flexible, a bit more customizable website. So that's why we're loving them in the back end, and our clients are finding them a bit more flexible too. So
similar to we call it a page builder, hey Anthea, and we sometimes get requests for those that there's some popular ones for things like Elementor or and where you can drag and drop pages, and they can get kind of clunky, those things. So what we've built is like it follows the kind of Bizink philosophy on building websites, but yeah, you can basically create a page of any layout you want almost now, can't you?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to show as well. What's awesome, it's these elements on the homepage, but also these inner pages. We've had clients coming to us, they're doing, a certain campaign on, it was like deceased estates was the thing they were promoting. And I just loved the look of the page. The landing page we were able to create from these different elements we were able to pull in. So I'll try and just show you a few of those. So hopefully this makes a bit more sense. But this is the site, one of the test sites we've built so far on this capsule design, just to quickly show you how it looks and to see if you like the look of it. Of course, the logo, colors, content, images all change for you, but just to show you some of the key ways this site looks. This is probably one of the reasons we named it Capsule, was the shape of these like images and elements on the homepage here. But like I'm saying, these are optional. So if you don't have like suitable images, or you don't like the look of that, potentially we can change these things around for you. But I'll just give you a quick little look at the homepage here. We usually build in like about section and a section for your lead magnet. We've got this sort of box section here, which in this example I've used for industries, but it totally doesn't have to be used for that. It can feature your services or something else. Testimonials section, blog section. So again, just imagine these can all go in different sections or on different pages of your site as well. I also was just going to quickly show you the team page, which again features this capsule sort of look. Obviously this isn't me, but I'm just going to click in and show you the team member sort of design. So you can have like quite a profile feature here, which I quite like the look of. You can put your story or as much or as little content here as you like. The partners flowing through to every, or like badges flowing through to every page. And then just lastly, I was just going to quickly show you things like these accordions are another element we can have across the site. Some people have asked for them in the past, so we've built that in. Even like a counter, I just quickly put that in to show you that that's another one of the elements. And there's a lot more in the back end, and a lot more we'll be working on too. So if that looks like something you might want to look at a bit more, like I said, we're looking for one person who's interested in refreshing their site to this design, and we're kind of going to use you as like a guinea pig. Not really, because we've done our, our testing in the back end, but we just like to test it, thoroughly on a real site in a sort of a more real environment. And yeah, you'll get a chance to give us some more feedback as well. And if we do find any bugs, we'll obviously get them fixed as we build the site in, usually the 3 to 4 weeks. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, just type design into the chat now and I'll reach out for a chat, whether it's this design or another. We can find out exactly for you. But if you're interested in this one particular, I'll launch this to your site first. We'll duplicate your current site. So your current site will stay live. There's no need for us to sort of touch that. We'll work on this in the background, switch it to this design. We'll also use this as a chance to make any other changes. So if you want to change like the images that are on your site or, content and things like that as well, we can discuss that along the way. So it is a website refresh too. And then once we're super happy with the capsule design, we'll roll this out to our other clients as well. It'll become an option in our design gallery to choose from. And we'll have further designs coming later this year as well. So if this one isn't exactly what you're looking for, there might be others coming soon if you're looking for a refresh. So reach out to me if you have any questions about that. I'll just jump back into my slides now as well, if it's going to want to let me. I think it's over to you, Matt, for the marketing tips. Yeah.
Sounds good. I did a website in another business or as a consultant and as the biggest arts festival in Europe. We did a website for them. I didn't build the website, but I kind of managed the process. And we use the Latin text like that, which is a standard thing you see, right? Like, as placement. They came back and like, yeah, we've got a big problem with the website. We don't like that writing. We think it's Greek. I'm like, yeah, no, like we're not gonna do it. It's not Greek.
Example text, yeah.
It's just replacement thing. Like, but we really don't want that on the finished site. I said, yeah, it's all good. We're not gonna put that on. So don't worry, no Latin on your website.
No,
unless you want it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about a newsletter that I launched last week, but part of that newsletter is I do a little tip every week. And since we have marketing tips in these sessions, I thought I'd share one from there. And it's a really simple one that I think all of you could do with the next email that you send. And it's basically about tweaking the from name in your email marketing. So I've kind of got some examples on there where it's sort of like good, bad, sort of okay, and then best. So, sometimes you see things like no reply or something really kind of boring like that. And what we're trying to do, obviously, with emails, inboxes are crowded. They've never been more crowded, right? Like, we're sort of in somewhat of a recession. Or are we in a recession or not? Who knows? But like, the different countries, everyone's sort of feeling the pinch. I've never seen more marketing emails getting sent in my life. ChatGPT or AI tools have kind of upped that. So everyone's inbox is crowded and you want to get cut through. Good news is people do open emails from their accountant, but we know that because we send millions of them. But yeah, having a really dull from name, so that first bit is not going to help your email get opened. The next thing is that, so a bit better is obviously to have your firm name. Now, I think that works really well for like what I call transactional. Well, I don't call it that. They're called transactional emails. Things like, here's your tax return or stuff like that, where it's from the firm, right? Here's your log details. That's okay. But I think the way I'd recommend doing it is that you put something like we've got here. So Matt from Senior Junior is our kind of demo site. That's what we use, our kind of demo firm name. Matt from Senior Junior. So in Bizink, where we have like Matt from Bizink, Anthea from Bizink, and we send those emails and they get, get a better open rate. If my name on better than Anthea, only joking. But basically, it's a real person, right? And people want to interact with a person. They don't want to interact with a firm. So I think that's a simple tweak you can make where you can still have your firm name in there, but like, so tips around that would be if you're sending a newsletter, maybe it's, you choose, don't choose a marketing person that you might get rid of in 6 months. If choose the firm owner or someone who's going to be around for a little while. But because what you're trying to do is build up familiarity, you want to be consistent with it. And somebody they recognize. I think that's really important. But to change that, you can do that in any good email marketing software like MailChimp or obviously Bizink. So the email address can stay the same. It might be, hello@yourfirmname.com or whatever. I mean, you can change that from name. You can have different from names going from the same address. So that's a really simple tweak that you can do. Highly recommend looking at that. I've got a video where I chat that through. If you want to drop that in the chat, please, Anthea. And if you want little tips like this, sorry, I should have done that, shouldn't I?
You're right. My bad.
Sorry. I can.
That's right. I'll jump it in now.
I'll do that. I'll do any other ones. Messed up your flow. So yeah, what I'm trying to do with this newsletter, if I flick onto the next slide, please, is it's called Rule of Three. Reason for that: 3 stories every week. It's really easy to read, and my thinking here, I did a newsletter, and okay, that's my tip, right? But it's not some opinion or whatever. These are, well, it is an opinion, I guess, but like these are just things, simple tips. But the main part of the newsletter, and you can see Merrill Johnson, who's the founder of a firm called Bean Ninjas, really cool firm that works with e-commerce businesses. I want to get accountants sharing their tips, and I want to get business owners sharing what they think of accountants. So it's my gut feeling that people are sick of experts and gurus, and I don't like to put myself in that category, but, I am just some guy who's talking about marketing. My gut feeling is you're probably bored of hearing of that stuff because it's all over LinkedIn and, everyone's an expert. And, there's some awesome stuff gets shared, but it's all opinions at the end of the day. What I think you probably want to read, and I'm interested in your feedback, you can tell me in the chat if I'm right or wrong or whatever, is to hear from your peers. And so people like Merrill, I've been interviewing a bunch of accountants and bookkeepers who I think are really good at marketing and asking them to just share one tip. So, when I do these interviews, it's like, we do it, it's like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and like, is that it? I'm like, that's it. That's all I want of you. They're really, really short. So you can consume them really quickly, either as the video or I write it up in the email. My little tip, which is basically a before and after, that's how I do it, is like, this is what most people do. This is a better way of doing it. And the final bit, the one that I think is really interesting, and all the people, the accountants I've interviewed are really interested to hear this. I've been interviewing business owners because ultimately that's who you're marketing to, right? And what they want is what you need to talk to them about. Like, that's how you're going to get more clients. And so what I'm doing is I'm asking business owners 3 questions: start, stop, keep. What do you want your accountant to start doing that they don't do already? What would you like them to stop doing? And what would you like them to keep doing? And so we're getting some really interesting answers. And I think that you'll find that really interesting yourself. Probably things you might not ask clients, I don't imagine, what would you like us to stop doing? I know it's not to say something that we would ask clients all of the time, but yeah, tell us. I'm happy if you do tell us right now. So yeah, we'll ask the questions maybe you don't want to, and I'll be showing you those every week. So I will drop the link to that in the chat so I don't mess up Anthea again.
No, that's right. I've got it now.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've got last week's newsletter, right? If you want to read that one, check it out. And I think people are liking it. They're the open rates, so a bit of a kind of, 74%. Pretty happy with that. I'm getting some good feedback on it. I got one guy who corrected a typo in it, who sent me a typo in his email, which I didn't think was a very good look. you got to come with your A game if you're going to criticize people's writing, right? And then you can sign up. We'll drop the other link in there. Yeah, you can see Anthea's dropped it in. So yeah, we're not going to be doing. What you'll not find in there is any kind of like, marketing guru nonsense. Like that's, that's not me anyway. And we're not going to be promoting Bizink or anything else in there. It's just really good content from accountants and business owners, plus my little tip, which, my kind of rule for those tips is they're super easy to implement. You could do it pretty much after reading the newsletter. So sign up for the newsletter, get that in your inbox. We've got, and then the videos will all be saving on our YouTube channel. So if you want to go back and look at them, so over time, 2 videos, there'll be 100 videos in a year, 100 104 videos in a year. And over time, we'll start to categorize those. So it becomes this archive of, like best practice from accounting marketing and what business owners are really after. So I think it's quite a good concept. I'm getting some good feedback from it. Love to know what you think. Sign up, let me know. You can always hit unsubscribe if you think it's crap. Yeah.
Awesome. I think it's a great idea. Keen to hear what people think though, and yeah, I'll keep moving on just to that's the main announcements for this session today, but I just wanted to remind you if you need any help regarding your Bizink website, as always, we have the knowledge base, which I'll send you a link to, which has more sort of how-to questions and answers, and you've got live chat, which is good to message us and obviously chat with us at the time on the page you're experiencing the issue or the question. You can also raise a ticket from there, or as always, email support@bizinkonline.com. We'll raise a ticket for you. So if you have any questions about anything we've addressed today, feel free to send it through there and I'll have a look at it. Otherwise, we'll stick around for a couple more minutes. If you have any questions while we're here today, feel free to type them into the chat now, and we'll wait another minute just to see. How long was it you said the SEO audit takes again, Matt?
10 to 12 days, because you have to sort of send out the crawlers to do a bit of, it takes a bit of time to do that bit. And obviously we're doing a bit of research as well. So it takes a little bit of time on that side.
Yeah. Matt and I were chatting beforehand. We'll be getting an example audit for you guys out in the coming weeks as well, so you can see. Sorry, I'm still calling it an audit. What we'll change it to a report, I guess, or the result of the research we do. So we'll show you some of that stuff in the coming weeks as well. But I'll be in touch with you, Hayley, to get yours started soon as well. I don't see any questions coming in, but feel free to email support@bizinkonline if there's anything that comes up. But otherwise, thank you very much for coming along live today. And yeah, if you're interested in any of those resources or the new design refresh, please reach out. I'll be in touch with you, Jason. You mentioned you're interested in the design as well. So thanks very much.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
See you later.